G'day guys, Sam here. Today we are going to go through our free leads engine, and this is one of my favorite workshops because it has just 4 of the killer tactics that I use to take Build Clean from its early days, even my backyard here in Adelaide, up to this $10 million national organization that we see today. Now, what gets me excited about this is, had I have known this earlier, it would have shaved years off of the growth trajectory. I would have paid a lot less idiot tax, trying different agencies and different ways of getting leads. And I should have had the foresight, which is a beautiful thing to have, to know these things and have implemented them straight away. But I didn't, because I had to try everything. And the beauty of it is that I'm bringing them here for you today. Within 20 minutes, you're going to know the 4 top things that I did and I still do. And we'll see in screenshots of exactly what I do for Alpha Tradie as well, of how to get your own leads. So, in the roadmap, we've seen this before. We are working in pipeline today, and we are hunting down free leads. So this is the roadmap that you've seen already. We're here. Typically, you will work your way across. Once you get to the 100K mark, then you jump up and you work your way back across again. So pretty standard map for you to measure or work out where your priority should be. But today, let's get some free leads. So, got a quick snapshot here of kind of the 3 main problems that I see guys walking into. We're going to define like a bit of a dream outcome or an ideal scenario, and then just a couple little points to avoid as well. So the biggest problem that I see, and you're probably facing this right now, is that you've got an inconsistent schedule of work. So we want to make sure that this doesn't continue forward. We probably, and you're probably sitting in the position at the moment where we're like paying marketing agencies or considering expensive outlays to marketing agencies there, and it becomes a little bit of out of your control when you start to think about that. And I want to bring that control back to us. So ideal outcome is that we want to be booked out. And today we're going to go through how we can do that. We want it to be, we want it to be relatively free. Now, yes, it does cost our time, but the majority of us do have a couple hours we can spare every day that we could generate thousands of dollars of revenue. And the mental shift here for you is that if I said to you, I'll pay you $10,000 to learn how to do these things, you would be like, fucking oath, let's do them. So that's the framework we need to be in, is that if you're not winning enough work and you're not doing these, then you're leaving money on the table. When do we want to have these done? We want them done right now, and they can be done now. So we're not waiting for any marketing agencies to come in and let our ads mature and gather data. These are straight fire things that we can do right now, that when you jump off of this video, you will be able to take action straight away. So at the end, I'm going to detail exactly what your next steps are after this. But during this workshop, we're going to go through exactly how to do them and to start straight away. Now, a couple things to avoid quickly. I don't want to see us waiting for work to come to you. Like there's this age-old saying of like, build it and they will come. Doesn't work. If you have a lot of work coming through you for word of mouth, that's great. That means that you are credible in your space. What it does also mean that if you're just doing word of mouth, that you're leaving money on the table, which is great. And then today, you're going to learn how to unlock that cash. So I also want to make it very aware to you that it is your duty and obligation to win enough work for the team. So if you do start winning more work, this is not an excuse for you to be like, cool, the work's there, I'm jumping back on site. It is your duty to grow the team, to build a great company, to build a great organization, and to give the guys consistent work so that they don't have to go and find another job if the company with the work dries up because you got too distracted being on site trying to deliver it, as opposed to bringing that work in for the pipeline into the future. So today, this is about making your own luck, and a little kind of takeaway phrase I want you to think about is, who's got my money? Now, the client, the builder, whoever we're searching for, is going to be paying somebody to do the job. They need the job done. They could either choose you, or they could choose the dodgy guy who's going to do it for half the price and fuck everything up. So let's get ourselves into the mindset that as much as we're not salesmen or salespeople, this is a sales component that needs to be done, and it's a requirement. And we're thinking about who's got my money. We're reaching out to a bunch of people. Who's got my money? Who's got my money? We need to make our own luck during this. So there are 4 things that we're going to do, and we can see here, I'm just going to quickly highlight these so they're a bit easier to see. We've got time and difficulty. We are going to do the easiest, quickest things first, and then work our way up. So what does that look like? We've got 4 things to do along the way. Firstly, we are going to do social DMs. Secondly, we are going to visit site offices because we know exactly where they are. We can Google search, Google My Business, find out exactly where our ideal clients are. For the majority of this, I'm focusing on builders, commercial residential builders, but nonetheless, we are generally all subbies, and the vast majority of do service builders, if not the majority of our work, but to some capacity. What I focus on predominantly is not direct to homeowners, this is direct to builders. So the third area that we're doing, or the third lowest hanging fruit in this game of numbers, in this game of volume, is going to be what I call hood bombs. And we're going to go into what that means. Essentially, we are driving neighborhoods looking for construction sites because when we do social DMs and when we do site visits, we're typically talking to people that are in the office. They could be the business owner, they could be the admin, the project team, the estimating team that are in the office. When we get out to doing hood bombs on site, we're talking to contract administrators, we're talking to site supervisors, even sometimes the residential builder, the company owner themselves. And then the final piece where we're getting really specific is, and if I can write in English, is headhunting. And I'll go into how to do each one of these so that we know exactly what to do, and we can just go tick off DMs, tick off site visit, tick off hood bombs, and then tick off our headhunting as well. By the time you finish doing this, you would have reached out to the same person or the same company several times, and that is what we want. This is a volume game, and we want to think in hundreds or think in thousands of outreach. If somebody says to you as well, if you get the comment come in of like, you guys are everywhere, perfect. That's exactly the scenario we want. If someone kind of gives you a bit of like a fuck off or pump the brakes or something, just know that deep down, they are probably thinking that this is something that they should be doing. And they might have a little bit of animosity to it because they know that by you doing this activity, it's reminding them of the things that they should be doing. So, DMs. This is going to be confronting because we will be doing a lot of action and getting a small amount of return for it. So we would expect to see between like a 1% and 5% response rate, which is fine. And the reason it's fine is because we can send 1,000 DMs in 10 days and it doesn't cost us anything. On Instagram is typically where we're going to focus this attention, but it does work on all platforms. But for the purpose of today, we're focusing on Instagram. Now, the DM game is very simple. We're going to open with a comment that's not something that a VA or something that's generic. So I love to open with a hey brother shucker because it doesn't sound like somebody else has written it. It sounds like it's come directly from me. The second part to this is give a compliment. And so we're going to go, hey, we're going to compliment because we're giving some credit where credit's due, and we're playing on the law of reciprocity. After we give a comment, we're getting straight to a punchy sentence. Now for here, when it comes to fences, I'm your guy. When it comes to carpentry, we're your team, I'm your guy. We're really wanting to become their chosen subcontractor. So we've got a punchline, and then we're going to sign off with your mobile number. We're not going to put our email, we're going to put our mobile number, because as you know, our clients generally want to talk to a real person, and if you have reached out to them out of the blue, out of nowhere, typically they're going to be like, who the hell are you? So by putting in, you've messaged them from your business account, they can go through, have a look at your profile, see what you're about, see the kind of people that you work with. Then they can also, they've got your name, your mobile number, so they can contact you directly. And we're trying through all of these activities we do, this one and the other three, the main aim we're looking for is to get a quote request. So even though we're trying to start a conversation, all we want to do is get a quote request. We're not here to win everybody's work. We're not here to win every job. We just want to get a foot in the door. And this is one of many ways that we can go about it. Now, how to find the guys. So we've got our message. We know what we're going to write. We can save it in your notes app on your phone or wherever you want. How do we find the people to message? Now, if you go to Instagram and you search, residential builder, wherever, custom home builder, developer, whatever name that is. So a title and then potentially a location on it as well, whichever city you're in. So, residential builder Adelaide, for the guys that are here in SA. Search one page, hit this drop down that we've got here with the little man that gives out similar profiles, so that we have profiles like these. And then you can follow message, find the next one that is a perfect example. And that may be this one. Then you'll jump into their page, do the same thing, drop down, and you'll get all the suggested for you. That is what we want to be using for our easiest way to find the maximum number of the right people. And we're just going to go down this completely deep rabbit hole of suggested. The game here is to send thousands of DMs. Now, you can only do between 100 and 150 actions on Instagram a day. So I would recommend trying to get out, close to 80 to 100 messages a day. Because of that, this means that you can't do it all now. You will need to, first thing in the morning while you're on the loo or whatever, just copy paste. It's going to take you a couple weeks. If you come back to me in a couple of days' time, you're like, Sam, I sent 45 messages and I didn't get a response. I'm going to come back to you pretty brutally because this is a volume game and you do need to be sending thousands. I want you to send, at least 400, 500, 600. Now you can as well refine the message a little bit if you're finding that it's not getting the right cut through. However, I can't imagine that would be the case because this is trialed and tested throughout the country through multiple different companies and a lot of my clients that work with me in mentorship as well. So start sending DMs. Next up, the office visit. And I said a little bit earlier that this is something that I've done through Build Clean. It's also something that I do through Tradie. And we can see here, these are the exact folders that I sent out. This is the exact document that I sent out. I missed a few pages there because for the purpose of this example, they're not relative. However, the strategy that we have here is shifting gears from being just this digital presence, just this online sending DMs. We are now putting you as the salesperson per se. Now, we're not going into builders' offices to pitch them. All we're doing is taking something that has a large amount of value, which is a display folder with some high quality documentation inside that sits on people's desk and just becomes another point of potential. If they do need somebody like you, then they do have your details there. But if not, it's just a good opportunity for your brand to be sitting on someone else's desk for a couple weeks. It's going to go from the receptionist to the construction team, to the project manager, to the construction manager, and then eventually it's going to find its way into the bin or in someone's filing cabinet. But nonetheless, this is just a game of getting our brand in front of people, getting brand awareness, and getting the opportunity to talk to people. So when you do go in and you drop this into the builder's office, you're going to be asking for someone in the construction team. Depending on who the office is and how big the building company is, it'll be the construction manager, or it'll be, if you can find the company owner's name, that's fantastic. But you want to be directing this through the gatekeeper to somebody directly. You don't want to be walking in and being like, hi, I'm John from Fencing 101. Here's my stuff. See you later. It's, hi, I'm John. I've got this welcome pack for Simon. I'm sure he'd be interested. I've got my details in there. Give me a call anytime. You want to be friendly, but we're not pitching, but we are being slightly direct in who we want to deliver that pack to. Now, what is in the pack? We go pretty fast. Pardon me. Now, in the pack, we need to make sure that this is high quality. Our display folder. So high quality. However your branding is set up. And you can get these from Vistaprint. But I would recommend designing them in Canva. Canva is just a little bit easier to use. And if you don't already use Canva, then this is great practice for you to get used to making your own stuff. Because we don't need to pay other people to do this. This is as easy as getting an A4 document in Canva, creating the colors, adding some potential graphics to it, dropping your logo on, exporting that, putting it into Vistaprint, bing, bang, boom, we're done. You can get 250 of them for $300-400 or something. And you'll be able to do this within the next 30 minutes, you'll have this done. We want to hit order on those. And we also want to develop something to go inside the folder as well. So we need a cover page. We need something about our projects. So this tends to go in like who we are on the cover page, what we do, projects or services, and how to contact us. It doesn't need to be a 50-page document. 3 pages, 4 pages is enough. If you want to get very specific, you can have a letter from you, and you could sign it. That's always a nice way to say, this is our information pack, but in the front page, there is just a print-off letter directly from you, directed at that person with a little spiel, 3 or 4 sentences, sign it in pen so that it actually looks like you've put some effort into it and you haven't got your assistant or your admin team to do it for you. Happy with office visits? This is the pack. Design, print, get them, pack them together, create a list, make sure the list is efficient so that you're not driving all over the city, and then hit as many builders as you can. Hood bomb. This is my favorite. The reason this is my favorite is because this is an activity that is never ending. You're not going to be able to cover a whole city, even if you're in Canberra or if you're in Hobart, some of the smaller cities. You're still not going to be able to cover every street, every suburb of every area. But this is a game that will last forever. So there will be never a time when you go, I've got nothing to do, I'm going to get back on site and help the guys. There is always more hood bombing to do. Now the game of the hood bomb, as with all of these, is to get a quote request. That's what we want. You're coming in person. This is a great opportunity to have your display folder packs ready, just like we did with the office visits. You'll have a stack of those that you just keep in the car. Also, you could have hundreds of business cards as well. Now, I found that for this strategy, driving streets closest to where you're located, in a methodical direction, looking for construction sites, walking in, you've got your branded vehicle, you're dressed nicely, you're dressed in your project manager attire, you want to be visually exactly the same as the person that you were talking to. So we want to make sure that we're still wearing our boots, we still are tradespeople, but we want to be nicely presented. This is where you might have a button-down embroidered shirt. AS Colour are great for those, by the way, no affiliation, just love the way they look and feel. But you want to be dressed like a project manager so that we have that mirroring effect with the person we're talking to. You want to be delivering and leaving something. So we're walking onto site, we find the first trade, is a site supervisor or a builder here? Yes or no? We'll be able to work that out very quickly. If they are, be like, who is it? He's over there, what's his name? Is a great way. Then you can walk over and be like, hi John, Sam here. Tim out the front told me that you were here. Here's some information on me. I can quote this job now. Something that I've found to be very powerful as well is have a bit of a joke. So, I don't know, say you do say the electrical you can see has already been done. You can have a joke to them and be like, I know I missed the boat on this project, but what other project do you have that you need me to quote on? I'll go there now and quote it. So that's the whole purpose of what we're doing, is getting in front of someone and then getting an excuse to quote them. Now, because previously we've done the office visits and we've done the social DMs, there are a lot of our ideal client that actually don't have social media and also don't have an office. So this is the third component because it takes a little bit more time to do, but we're also picking up some of the gaps that could have happened in the prior strategies where we're getting down to the bottom of the sieve to get everybody. If you are on site as well, we want to make sure, and there's no one there, we want to make sure that we're leaving something behind. So I found that on sites that don't have a roof on but with frames still, you can put your business cards in the frame where a couple pieces of timber are pinched together, like front doorways or staircases and things like that. You can put several of your business cards around the place. It's going to be annoying for other trades, but in the name of us winning work, I would rather annoy some trades and win some work in order to keep my company growing forward. And it's not very hard to rip those business cards out. The main aim here is to make sure that our details are always left on every site we went to. If the roof's on and the starter sheeting walls and stuff and things aren't going to get damaged, then leave the display folder. But because it costs a couple bucks to make those, we might not want to be leaving them on sites in the middle of winter when there's no roof on, because they're just going to get destroyed anyway. So leaving a couple business cards behind is a quick and easy way to do that. We want to make sure that we are hunting down quote requests and we are trying to talk to the person that's there. We gather their site details, their contact details from the fence. We're going to do that afterwards so that we don't look like a creep standing out the front taking down their number. That's the last piece of the puzzle, and making sure we're leaving something on site, leaving something behind as well. Pardon me. Okay, the headhunter. Now, this is the final piece of the puzzle because it is quite specific. But what we are doing here is we are using LinkedIn or just general web searches to find the exact name and title of people. So we need to find the exact person so that we can cold call the office and ask to speak to that person. So for this example here, let's take Alex. He's a project manager at Crew Built. What we will be doing is we will be creating a spreadsheet, or if you've got a CRM, something like that, we need a list. We're going to put company, person's name, the company number. We are going to call that company. We're going to ask to speak to Alex, and we are going to pitch him on our services. Now, it doesn't have to be a sales pitch. We're just getting ourselves in front of Alex one more time. You can also, outside of LinkedIn, you could just search the builder's website, see their about us and see who's in the team. The main aim we want here is to be the final piece of the puzzle. And the reason this one is at the end is because of its difficulty. And if you have sent thousands of DMs and then you visited every builder's office and then you have done your hood bombs, you would have spoken to several hundred people and you would have refined exactly what you want to say and you would have seen what works, so that now when you jump on the phone, you can just roll out exactly what you would usually say. So I'm not here to write a script for you. I have given you 3 stages worth of practice to get to the point here where you can get on the phone with Alex and say, hey mate, this is exactly what we do. This is what we offer. I've got availability. Where do you want me? Pretty straightforward, hey? So just before I get out of here, in LinkedIn, you can search people, you can search location, and you can search company. There are many ways that you can find the names of people that work at these businesses, but that is how you headhunt people in order to win their work. You could do the same to actually recruit people as well. So, what now? I want you to remember that the aim of this game is to get a quote request. That's the whole goal of what we're doing. I want you to remember that it is a volume game. We need to measure ourselves in hundreds. And I want you also to remember that they should be using you, not the dodgy trade they've already got. So you're obviously growing the business, you obviously care about the service, you're obviously a very credible person and you're great at the work you do. You need to remember that the client needs to use you, not that other dodgy bastard. Now, some action for you. Craft your DM. I want you to order your print materials And I want you to just get started. Get started. Send 10, 15, 20, 100 DMs. Get moving on this today, because the sooner you start to tick off some of these things, the sooner you'll find how easy it is to actually win work without having to pay anybody else to do it. And then we will be laughing. That will sign or let you, give you the premise to get to the point where we have got enough attention. And then next up, you'll be watching how to win more quotes. And then we'll start to close those deals significantly faster. So start to take action, get stuck into it, and give me some feedback as well. Shoot me a message on Instagram and let me know how you go, and keep me updated because I'm keen to see how this rolls out for you.